Yo, Henry Average use Slo-Pitch. Today we're getting a chance to bring out the one-piece models of Phil Matt's signature line Bedlums. We've got the 13-inch balance model here, the red model, and then the blue one is going to be our 12.75 XL, meaning kind of that half-ounce end load. If it was XXL, that's your full ounce. So if you're ever looking at worth and you're wondering what that means, that's what it is. But either way, we'll throw these on a tester, see where they start, kind of see if they're close to that kind of 250 range that we saw from last year with the Bedlums, or if we got kind of a little bit of a higher compression, if they went with kind of that stiffer barrel as well. But either way, based on the compression, we'll get our 52 swings, followed by our Pro M swings. Number of swings is kind of determined by when it feels game ready, but we don't go any more than 100 swings as needed. So if we get that 100 swing mark, we'll let you know kind of how it feels. We think it needs more swings, less swings, or we'll let you know at what point we stop and determine kind of game ready at that point. But either way, excited to try these out. Let's go ahead, take our swings, come back with final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our Phil Matt Worth Bedlum one pieces test. Up first, the red one is the 13-inch balanced model. And I'm real excited to get some swings on these ones. The one piece, or the Bedlums last year in general, were all gas. I definitely preferred the one pieces, but Phil's 12.5 two-piece last year was amazing as well. And this one's sitting at basically 260. So kind of right at that spot where we find most of these bats do feel pretty game ready, but as normal, it'll end up being, as we talked about, 52s, followed by Pro Ms. And we'll pretty much just swing them until they kind of feel game ready, up to a total of 100 swings, and then come back with that final compression piece. And then this one is the 12.75, kind of the blue barrel with the gray and black graphics, XL. So that's our half-ounce end load. And I need to give Phil a call, see which one he's planning on swinging this year, so I can get an idea of which one we're expecting to probably feel the best, because I'm sure he's got a bunch of swings on it and knows what he wants to swing. And this one's right at like 255, maybe 260. So either way, let's go ahead, get some swings on these, come back with final compression, final thoughts.
100 miles per hour.
Ooh, that felt pretty nice.
82 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour.
Yeah, the stiffness from the one piece definitely helps the 52 performance, gives you good feedback, things like that. So super forgiving, because that last one was lower in the barrel and we still got 99.
82 miles per hour.
There you go.
102 miles per hour.
Yeah, that was actually a nice, crisp, stiff feel too, which is surprising compared to the Bedlums from last year. So real excited to see what it does with Pro Ms.
85 miles per hour. 76 miles per hour. 93 miles per hour.
Yeah, I mean, the one piece is definitely a good performer for the 52s. Doesn't get too soft. Obviously the balance, you got to put a little more behind it as far as kind of getting it through the zone for power purposes, but still a good feel. Now we're jumping over the 12.75 XL.
103 miles per hour. 81 miles per hour. 98 miles per hour.
Yeah, still a good feel with the 52s for sure.
85 miles per hour. 100 miles per hour.
And super easy through the zone.
There it is.
86 miles per hour. 99 miles per hour.
Yeah, good feel for both the one pieces with the 52s. I mean, nice stiff feel, especially with the one piece. So we'll go ahead, hop over to some Pro Ms and see how they perform.
101 miles per hour. 86 miles per hour.
I don't think he likes the balance.
99 miles per hour.
Yeah, so immediately as we go to the Pro Ms, even from last year's, from all three of the Bedlums, this is definitely a stiffer, crisper, whatever you want to call it, feel and barrel, even with that slightly longer 13-inch. And then with a balance, nice and easy to control. So, and it's equating to performance just like we want to see. So that's pretty nice. It'll be interesting to see kind of the difference in compression on this after the swings versus kind of what we saw last year.
88 miles per hour.
Right away, a quick sound difference from the 52s.
101 miles per hour.
Woo, knuckling.
88 miles per hour.
A lot of carry, man, a lot of forgiveness too. Like, I got under some of those. I put the barrel on it, but I was too under. But a lot of forgiveness from this Bedlam, man.
104 miles per hour.
Yeah, super crisp barrel. Sweet spot feels pretty big on this thing. Definitely doesn't need very many swings. We already talked about it. We're gonna swing it till it kind of feels game ready. It's pretty much there. So at this point, we're just gonna get enough swings so we can kind of show consistency and then obviously the compression side.
$88 miles per hour.
Easy to cut the ball with this balance bat, and that's hard to find for me, especially with one pieces. So pretty good control with this balance bat right here.
99 miles per hour.
Yeah, it's the first one I caught low on the barrel. It's just a bad swing, bad load. But even then, you get that crisp feel on the hands. You know where you caught it. Not a sting, but just kind of that feedback. But we saw there, I mean, at 99, good forgiveness off that sweet spot. Again, what you really care about is where you're placing the ball.
85 miles per hour.
Right? That's a good one to end on. We'll switch over to the end loaded Bedlam, but initial thoughts. When it comes to these balanced bats, I find it hard to cut the ball in some instances, and this one seems a little bit easier to cut the ball with. A lot of forgiveness, so definitely a good bat. Even on the missed hits, you still get good carry. So
99 miles per hour.
Whew. Yeah, that's gonna do it for the balance worth Bedlam. Again, nice crisp barrel, good feedback. I'll let the guys talk about what they thought about it here shortly, and then we'll go ahead and do final compression, final thoughts. But definitely kind of, in my mind, an upgrade for anyone who thought the barrels last were a little bit soft. We'll see what the compression does, obviously.
98 miles per hour.
Wow. That didn't even feel like 100% sweet spot. The ball just absolutely jumped off of there, and just like the balance, it's got a nice crisp feel, which is to me a little bit different than last year. I mean, don't get me wrong, last year's were great. Some of my favorite one pieces, but that slightly stiffer barrel I think is really causing the ball to jump off, and we'll see again how that equates in the compression side of things.
90 miles per hour.
good control, easy to whip.
81 miles per hour. 98 miles per hour.
That one felt real good.
95 miles per hour.
There it is.
86 miles per hour. 109 miles per hour.
Oh yeah, we're gonna end on that one. So that was every bit of the sweet spot, obviously. I mean, yeah, both of these feel great. I personally think they're upgrades over last year by getting that kind of stiffer, crisper feel. Obviously a little bit of a glossy paint job. So with that, if you're not kind of familiar with it, typically with your matte paint jobs, you're gonna get that immediate, more almost broken in, game ready feel. With these, they felt good out of the wrapper, but about 20, 30 swings in with those Pro M's, definitely felt kind of the sweet spot really open up, ball start jumping off. And those last handful, I mean, ball was flying. When you catch the sweet spot, it comes off really good. But all these guys talk about it, and then we'll come back. Final compression, final thoughts. All right, let's see where our one-piece Bedlums are testing at now that we are right around that 75-ish swing mark. We ended up stopping at around 50 to 60 Pro M's and only about 20 to 30 at most 52s, simply because, again, these felt so game ready. We didn't want to put too many swings on them. But this one, 13 bounce, is still holding just fine at 260. So that tells me that get some swings on it, kind of break through that glossier paint job. I mean, it's not super glossy, but it's definitely not the paint or the matte paint from last year. So you do need to kind of get some swings on there, open the barrel up a little bit. But with how good it felt, you definitely don't need more swings at this point. I think it'll last you for a long time. And with the crisper barrel and this new paint, I think Worth did a good job of improving the compression side without taking away from the performance. And on the end load model, we're looking at right on 250. And if I remember correctly, this one started just a hair over 250. So even then, we've barely moved the compression, again, with about that 75 swings. So this is another one where If you're going to use Pro-Ms, 20 to 30 of them as you're rotating the barrel, put it away, game it. It's going to last you for a long time. All right, and that's going to wrap it up for our one-piece Phil Matt signature Worth Bedlums. Again, the red one's going to be your 13-inch balance. Blue one is going to be your 12.5-inch XL. So that is your 0.5 end load with Worth. If you saw XXL, that's that kind of full ounce end load. And really with both of these, what I thought was really awesome to see this year is you can probably tell, and you've seen it probably on their website, but these are more of a glossy paint job than just the matte paint job from the 3 models last year, the original one and the Worlds and the Military Edition. And I know some people always talk about they feel like the matte paint jobs start hotter, things like that, which in all actuality, I have found that with the matte paint jobs, you get a little bit better performance straight out of the wrapper. But with both of these, even with kind of where you saw the both starting and ending compression, there wasn't really a break-in period whatsoever. I think around maybe 20, 30 swings, it felt like, okay, hey, we have reached the point where we've reached kind of that max performance, and so we didn't need a lot of swings. The reason we even got up to kind of that 75 to 80 swing mark with each one was mostly because we wanted to show you the kind of consistency, overall performance, see what the compression does, and they were just a whole lot of fun to swing. And a real benefit here with the Bedlums, I think with the one piece at least, is with this being a 13 and this a 12.75, you're not changing the barrel length by much, obviously 0.25 inches. So the nice part is if you're a balance fan, you don't have to worry about the balance being like a 13 and a half and then your one piece being a 12 and a half. So then if you're obviously a 12 and a half fan, but you want to balance, you have to kind of make a decision there. With these ones, I would 100% just go off of what do you prefer as far as balance or end load goes, and then go ahead with that one. Because for us, both these performed nearly identically. I think we might have seen slightly higher speeds with the end load, but again, for me, I'm just far more comfortable with end load bats than I am with balance. I just prefer them. It's what I've been using now for a few years. But with these, we saw really no compression issues whatsoever. Both of them stayed basically where they started. I think maybe a 5-ish PSI drop on each. And that's obviously why we're back here doing this final thoughts in the garage, is we wanted to get them out of the sun, come back here, let them sit for a little while. It's been about 8 hours, I think, since we got back. And really bring these and the tester to room temperature. And so with that being said, for both of them, I would still recommend getting like 30-ish, 40 BP swings if you're using Pro-Ms. If you're using 52s, feel free to push that up to that 100 swing mark if you really want to. But all I would really be doing with both of them is taking that kind of 10-ish swings per side, quarter turn, 10 swings, quarter turn, 10 swings. So maybe that pushes you up closer to 40, but what it does is it'll break in kind of that glossier paint versus the matte, just so you really are getting to the fibers of the barrel once you're gaming it. At that point, put it away, and I think these will last you for a long time. I mean, even last year when they were starting a lot lower and seeming to drop faster, I know for sure that Phil, Matt himself, I've talked to him about this, he was able to get quite a few tournaments out of each of his one-piece Bedlums, and as we all know in the conference, they're swinging stadium balls, hardcores, and Phil's got one of the strongest swings out there, mixed in with kind of his bat speed. So either way with these, can't go wrong with either one. I feel like the carry on them was actually better than last year. I think we saw about the same as far as the actual exit velo, but as we've always talked about, just the bats themselves, obviously the paint, barrels, all that kind of stuff, the velo's not really what we're looking at when we come to that kind of performance piece. The ball was carrying really well. Junior was having a great time hitting. I know Keith had a good time hitting it. Some other people hit it once we were done as well. And you could just see that the ball, once it kind of started traveling, it really just never wanted to come down. And so with this, these are both still available at headbangersports.com and at Worth's website as well. So you can grab them at either location. If you want to grab them with a discount, we don't have a code over at Worth's website, but on Headbanger Sports, you can use code ADS for either model or any of the other Worth models. If you've seen those videos, decide maybe you want to grab one of those, maybe you're a two-piece fan, whatever it might be. And with that being said, if you don't want to handle the ordering yourself, you want some help from us, maybe you want expedited shipping, maybe we can get you even a cheaper price. I'm not 100% sure what the code price comes out to. Just reach out on any of the social medias, or in the description below, there's the link tree, which has all of our discount codes, links, things like that to help you out, but also the contact info so you can get a hold of us. We'll get these added to the website rankings here as quickly as we can, probably about a week or so. With all the bats dropping, we do have quite a few to get added on there, so give us some time. But if you're really interested, and let's say you want to compare something that's already on the website to these, just reach out and I'll get back to you with kind of what we're going to rank these at. But here at the end, you are going to see, obviously, the ranking score that we gave each one in that format that we've been using here in 2025. So either way, another great models. Real excited to see Phil use these this year, both in conference and then we see him over at Military Ball. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully kind of helped you decide if maybe these are models you want to grab, especially if you're a Bedlam fan last year and you're considering upgrading to the new models. I definitely think it's an upgrade worth making at this point. But if you have any questions, reach out, let us know. Either way, thanks for supporting the channel. Have a great day.